So, should we introduce ourselves briefly? Would that help?
Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea. So,
Yeah.
I'm David. I've been involved with Larry for a few months. Kind of got involved by hearing he's a great musician, and then wanting to see whether there's things we can do, and we got to know each other from some of the environmental and the social work that he does in Kibera, and was introduced by mutual friends. And I'm based in London. I have an investment background. Richard and I used to work together, and we're interested in trying to use the period around COP28 to get people to be more aware that climate is basically affects everyone, and it's something to do with the and it's not really kind of something for the experts, but it's everybody. And music is a great way to reach everybody. We just want to brainstorm about how we can do that and what sort of things might make it possible. So, Richard, you want to?
Yeah, like David, I come from an investment background. I grew up in Sweden, moved to London 27 years ago, been living there ever since. Met David 6 years ago when I joined the fund he was working for, and ever since then we've been heavily involved in thinking about sustainability and sustainable investing, and for a better word, climate justice, and how you can express that in the best possible way.
Climate democracy. Choose choices.
It's about the free choice, exactly, and the fact that at the moment there is no choice, and that's where we are. And we want to use this period between now and COP28 to really invigorate the debate, so we can get some traction around the idea that there cannot be a free choice without climate justice. And how do you best engineer a transition to people being able to have their voices heard and having some form of control over their own destiny, which we think is essentially what every person should have. And that's why we're here tonight, meeting with you guys and see what we can do together.
So, how about you, Willem? Where are you from? And what music do you do? You're muted. Still muted.
Oh, hello. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. This is good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a friend of Maurice. You know Maurice?
Yeah. He's supposed to join. I don't know why he hasn't.
Yes, I'm his producer.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow. So what have you done with
him? And the recent song, he sent you a song this...
Yeah, he sent me a studio. He said something where he was in studio today, he said.
Yeah, we have done that song with him.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the one who has produced that. And, we're hoping to reach more people through the music.
Yeah.
Pass on the message.
That's your song, right?
Yeah, we can make a change.
Yes. So this is great. And Larry, do you want to introduce yourself to Willem?
Happily. I'm really happy to see all of you, Richard, David, Maurice is a friend. I will catch your name as we go on with the meeting. And yeah, just to introduce myself, I am Lawrence King, my ID name, it's okay, Larry Dwayne, those are stage names. And I am an artist and an environmentalist. I love caring for the environment. And I consider myself an advocate of transformational ownership ever since I met David, getting to read the book, The Unsustainable Truth. And really changed my perspective from the day I decided that I'm going to be an advocate of CEO, that is transformational ownership. I share it for you, and I'm really happy to be here. I make music, get awareness about the environment, and just to change the community's perspective in regards to how environment and how they play an important role in terms of conservation. So I'm just looking forward to the conversation here. Since it involves like what I love most, and that is, and yeah, let's just move on, and I'm sure we'll get everything from this meeting. I don't really know what's going to come out of it, but I am positive that we are going to get everything under the years, everything else that involves even making music and just changing people's mindset and just coming up with new ideas on how to tackle climate change in a different perspective. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Morris is here as well. Morris, if you want to say hi. Morris, do you want to say hi? Maybe he can't hear us.
Could be connection issue.
So, okay, Morris, if you want to say hi, say hi. And what we want to do is maybe it's worth giving a description. I think it's worth giving a description and seeing what it is. So I think everybody here is aware in one form or another about the issues kind of of climate and so on. And we have the other part that I think all of us are aware of is how everything, it really involves everybody, basically. The way I describe it is, when I talk to people and they say about climate, and it says, if it's in the company, they say, oh, we've got a climate guy, you should talk to him. I kind of say, well, do you breathe? Because if you breathe, it's about you, kind of thing. And I think that's an awareness that we want to really bring about, but we want to bring it about in a way that engages people in the way that they normally would. I had a conversation with a friend today, Nicholas, and he was talking about how maybe we can get people to post about the good things that they do and all the rest of it. And I was saying we shouldn't need to do that because, I can be the worst of the worst. I can be worse than the worst of you. But if I show up, then that's something. And it's this part, even just showing up is worth a lot. So, it's like if you have a concert and you do a gig or something. If someone can be bothered to show up, it doesn't matter that he's not your greatest fan. In that way, it makes it is enough. It's a start, and so we should treasure that and value that. And what I want to do is essentially to get around, use the 12 days of COP, which is from the 1st of December to the 12th of December, to think about how we can get people all around the world basically to show up for climate. And they don't have to be fantastic and do great things or anything of the kind. It's just to show up to say that actually we are aware, and we're aware that we want to be able to have some choices. That at the moment, the way I come from is that if all you can do is to promote how other people can keep burning the oil and the gas and the coal by you trying to do the good things or whatever it is, that's not a choice. So the genuine choices has to be about being able to talk about how, can we really have a limit to them? And what would that mean? What benefits do you get out of it? How much would it cost you? And can we actually be aware that we can make that choice, make that decision? Because very often we think it's just outside of our hands. It's up to the government, it's up to the businesses. But actually, what I want to do is to get people to show up and says, you know what? It's not just up to the government, it's up to the businesses. We need a genuine climate democracy that allows us to put the planet and the nature and dignity of each other first. And that's something very radical, in that way, but we want to do it without kind of disrupting everything, but really using what is ours, which is we are people together. So, and allowing music to speak in that way, because music speaks in miraculous tones and it brings people together in a lot of those ways. So the idea is, let's get musicians together, invite your fellow producers, musicians, dancers, people involved in music and whatever, promoters, and actually start thinking, how can we do something around those 12 days that both promotes your music, brings your audience together, get new audiences, and allows everybody to become aware in that way. And if we bring those things together, then it's good for everybody. You know, it's good for the musicians, it's good for the promoters, it's good for the producers, and it's good for the audiences. And we get to listen to other music we wouldn't otherwise do, and all of those things. And maybe there's something that can be done. There are 12 days. It could be all around the world, all around the clock. And you could end up with great collaborations, or however it might come from. And really just not let ourselves be, you know, too tied by what we think is possible to be able to do the impossible. I think that's kind of what this is about. And so I just want to sort of then leave it open and kind of people to think about what it might be. Morris and I spoke a little bit on Sunday, a couple of days ago. And I was sort of thinking, well, you know, it could be anything. You know, I know Morris has been working on some new stuff, and this might be a way to promote it as we go on forward, kind of thing. And then Larry has been thinking about that. But then there may be collaborations that can form. But really, you know, Morris worked with a Japanese musician a couple of years back and knows some people in South Sudan, and Larry knows people in other places as well, and they know other people. And you can end up with, you know, can we get some amazing fusion of sounds? And the way I call what we're doing is to bring basically a symphony of 1 billion voices together, and literally to do with music, and literally to allow that to support the discussions and, you know, kind of the more in-depth discussions, or the more other fun activities and all of those things, because it's about every part of our lives. And we have to place it into every part of our lives so people can realize, actually, you know what, it's for me. And that's kind of what we go through in our hashtag, is to try and hashtag everything with "it's for you." And in that way, climate democracy, it's for you. If you breathe, it's for you. That's basically kind of how I think of it. Okay, I'm going to keep it here. Why don't we just exchange some ideas? There's no need for a breakout room, I think, because I think we are a breakout room.
Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, it's always a pleasure joining you guys, David, Larry, Richard, and Williams Chita. I think Williams Chita is my producer. He worked on my other album, and I'm planning on my album. Of course, we're going to be released on December 5th. My birthday is on December 6th. And
back in the middle of this, you can have it as a birthday celebration.
Yeah.
This is great, you know.
Yeah. And me and Larry, we have a song. He hasn't really sent me the vocals. Larry, are you hearing me now?
I hear you.
Yeah,
you can. I just
you're on my album, man.
If we get this right, you can have like a global promotion, right? A global release.
Yeah. That's what I sent you, Dunia. I think I sent you the track.
Yep.
We've done with Williams Chita and some boys from Madare.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to promote talent. Also, yeah, there is a lot of that we can think about in that period. And I would love if we could have a discussion. Larry can put on some ideas, and then we can put on some ideas. I really feel like we haven't done something on the grassroots yet. So I don't know how we feel about having an activity also on this other part of the world?
I think it's about getting people more artists and things.
Yeah,
I think getting more artists from all around the world together, so that
yeah,
it becomes like something everybody looks to.
true.
And you know, so how do we snowball it in some sense? Like how do we bring other people in? So we have Morris's birthday. We have kind of released an album.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can start by inviting them in the group, and then we can have like an autonomous meetings with the artists, at least so that we can be able to understand each other, and then I don't know from there. From there, we need to also like have predetermined activities. Mostly, I feel like most of them will be virtually, unless the ones that we feel like are should be a hybrid. That is on the major activities that we haven't decided yet, because I feel like the week of COP we should be able to create an artistic message. It should be very artistic. It should be something that feels it's from a certain people that have not been really considered when it comes to this policy shaping meeting. So I think Larry can be able to give some suggestions so that we can know where we can what we can do, because I also feel like when we know each other with the artist when we get to know each other, we'll have to do the projects together that we will release during those 12 days of COP. If there will be dancers, those will be things like TikTok challenges of a certain dance move. If there will be singers, then they will be dancing to our music. Singers will be able to create those songs. If there are artists or people in the like we have sustainable fashion people, models, who can also be able to join us as the artistic community. I think there are things that we can do, but that we can tie them down for those 12 days. But a conversation needs to happen first.
Yeah, absolutely. So conversation, I think what you're saying is kind of like getting more people onto this. Kind of like what you were describing is kind of like group and individual calls, right? Basically. And if I look at what you had kind of described along, you there can be, there can be pre-recorded stuff as well as live stuff, and there could be projects in the period. Just to kind of like random artists together, as well as kind of like jam sessions, basically, as well as the challenges. I think that's really interesting, because I think we can put out challenges beforehand, kind of thing, right? Because what you want to do is get people ready, get people thinking. Larry?
Yeah, and also like wait, I think I had one more idea. I think we can also create like a Google form, like a call for artists around the world if they have anything artistic that is inclined to climate and climate democracy. They can be able to submit, and then we can be able to reach them out for further action. I think that can also open us up to artists that we don't know, but artists that are also doing an awesome job out there, and can give us more of the message to be put out there, even to places that we don't know, to people that we don't know, and that's the aim of this, I believe.
Yeah. So that's definitely, and I think that's right. You know, how do you reach? How do we reach? Do we reach in that way? And you know, basically, you know, do we reach by, you know, some social media, you know, kind of outlet. But I think what happens is that my guess is you probably know more people than you think. More people, and this is where Tafo, I don't think, is able to join, but I'll have a conversation with him, record this along, and give it to him. Is you know, Climate Life and places like that. You know, we can use them for a shout.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know, maybe they can feature you guys for like a for like a short session or something, right?
Yeah.
Where you can play some stuff or have some of your stuff play and talk about what you do, and then you can use that to be a shout to other musicians around and music lovers around, and they can reach out.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that will definitely work. And just have content out prior as we gear towards COP28, and we're in October, November, so we need to start like immediately to come up with as much content as we can, so that we can just share different perspectives, and with that we'll be able to make it easier even for other artists globally to see how they can tap in. They'll be able to understand like what it is we are trying to advocate for, what it is we are trying to push for. I think it will be easier for them with the artists that are available, considering that we have me, we have Morris, we have another artist called Dido, we have another artist called Dennis, who are ready and willing to be a part of this process. So I feel like if we have content at hand, I think that will also serve as an explanation from an artist point of view, or from a creative point of view in terms of the content. So I think that will be easier for them to easily understand like what is this about, and they'll be able to see like how they come in and how to project their art. So I think that would be something great.
And to project, and Richard maybe or Willens should sort of like, you know, because there's this part of how do we want, this is about awareness, basically. This is about awareness. And the way I think about it is, you know, is we're still trying to find the right language. But for me, there was the thing of saying, you know, without climate democracy, you know, how do you know you want to limit oil, gas, and coal? You know, just without the ability to have any kind of that aspect of it. You know, we do everything we can, and it's to try and make it better. But that big picture is these things keep increasing every year. There's nothing you seem to be able to do with it, to do that, and that's kind of where we sit. So it's just like we don't think we can do anything about it. But is that really the case? You know, without that voice. And so this is really kind of about that awareness that, you know, climate is all about, it's everything. Climate affects
Everything.
You know, our music, you know, our dance. It affects all those things. It affects, you know, kind of our money, because it affects our money. It affects our freedom. Exactly. And it is, you know, it's a tyrant, the way in which it's just allowed to keep going on, right? So bringing that along, and it then says, how can we engage our audiences? And maybe this is something that they can do. Maybe Climate Live and other channels can find out.
Absolutely.
Maybe they can sort of say, maybe there can be live, there can be a whole series of live, of local live events.
Yeah.
That are all connected. So I think this can be. So what do you think, Willen Shitter?
So personally, in terms of the music, I think artists have a challenge of paying for sessions and putting out as much content as they have. So as a producer, I think I can be providing beats, instruments. We can have like sessions in order to concentrate our efforts on other places. I think by giving the artist a space to work, we can do more. We can deliver more and put content as much as there is. So I think with that we can at least have.
So do you know
that is an option.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Then it's actually to sort of say, can we sort of imagine some kind of a crowdfunding for this, right? Funding for some materials and stuff, right?
That's a great idea.
Maybe that's the angle, to go to somewhere like Climate Live and sort of says, we really want to put something out here. We want to get materials. We want to do all these things. And we're not talking about the big artists here, right? Because you're not talking about the really big artists who don't have any of these problems, but we're talking about the artists that's in your neighborhood, in your home, and around you.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe that's just some way of actually turning this into saying, actually, you know what, be part of it. Be part of bringing music to climate. Bringing music to our lives, right? Bringing music to the most to the important issues of our lives, basically, of our lives. And if you can spare something, if you can think of a way of helping out, space, instruments, and you guys can describe that better, because I don't know how to describe it, kind of studio, and that kind of thing, and that sort of thing, and you could probably describe, what it might be, and each country is going to be a bit different, right? And
yes,
and
have different challenges.
And also,
Morris, go on.
and also this can be a very important. This can be a very important engagement, because we'll be able to fuse in different styles of music. For example, the song I sent you, Wilansita made a Caribbean infused beat. The type of music is called soca, fused with Afrobeats. So that's something we can experiment, and it's very possible to show diversity also in music, and also to show that we are one, as we also sell a message of climate. And also another thing also we can try and put is, there are very many upcoming musicians or artists that don't understand how powerful music is, and how they can leverage their gifts to elevate their communities from effects of climate change. So we can also try, and because me and Larry, I think we have been able to use music to create something out of music in terms of fundraising, in terms of awareness. We can also use, we can also get our skills. We can volunteer to mentor this artist and to create maybe a guidebook or a workshop, so that even this engagement, they won't just leave empty or with just a bunch of songs, but also with life-changing information.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think that's, you know, we'll
Yeah.
leave empty. So no one leaves empty. No one leaves empty. And I think this one of the things that I want to say is, you know, I spoke before with a dancer, and we were talking about, you know, I dance today, I want to dance tomorrow. It's this thing, you know, climate is taking away so many different things. We want music to last. And for that, we need to find ways to support it. We need to bring that awareness along. And by doing that, you bring awareness to climate.
Yeah.
You know, because it just and then it could go into, you know, for places with big music schools, they can do one thing. For places with kind of like, you know, kind of you know, small DIY studios, that can be a different thing. And for communities, they can come along and think, you know, how do we want our musicians? How do we want our music? In that way, right? So actually, I think this is turning very rich. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because I feel like what we are trying to communicate here is like we are communicating like the possibility of an apocalypse if we don't transition. And what we're trying to tell people is what we're able to do now, we wanted to do it for eternity, and we want to be able to enjoy life, enjoy what nature has to offer, and incorporate dignity in everything that we do in terms of our interaction with the environment. So I think what we're also trying to do is to show what is, and what can be if we don't react, and what can be if we do change our mindsets, our action. And just to simplify it, or to summarize it, it's just, you know, transformational ownership, and it's for you. I think that made it so easy to explain all these things. You know, transformational ownership is for you, and I think that's what we are trying to communicate to the masses in terms of our communities specifically. So art is the main driver of change, and we are going to use it to instill this important trait in every individual, so that they can be a part of the movement, which is transformational ownership, where everyone has an individual role to play, so that we can have a better environment and a better ecosystem in the future.
That's brilliant. I mean, you know, I'm like beaming. and I think this element where we go along and we sort of says, you know, can we how to, you know, and that means we are protecting it for each other, right? So that means, you know, that's what's so from transformational about it, is that we end up protecting each other, you know.
Exactly.
And we end up protecting and the things we love. And the things we love, and the things that give us joy, as you know, as you know me say, right? And the things that give us joy, and that means protecting music.
Yeah, we need to protect it, because we need it. Everyone enjoys music after a hard day's work, or weeks or months of work. You want to sit back, relax, just enjoy what, you know, your surrounding has to give you. You know, you need to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in fresh air, and you know, just breathe out all your frustrations.
Well, music is life, right?
Yeah,
It's
You know,
that simple.
this is so much better, because we've moved beyond just sort of music as an agent of sensitization and education to really saying music is it. And so we shouldn't allow climate to take it over. and that's actually so much more to the point. Do you know what I mean? because it gives you the freedom to play your music how you like, and actually it's calling people to say, come and join in. Let's make this into a musical experience. Let's make this into an opportunity for all of us to say, we are aware, we care.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna have to drop off, guys. Family calls here. But it's that essence of music means different things to different people, because there's music for when you're sad, there's music for when you're happy, music when you want to reflect. But at the end of the day, what joins all those parts together is that music is life. Part of life is being sad, part of life is being happy, part of life is being reflective. And in all those aspects, music can always be there. And certainly in my life, it's always been there.
Yeah. So how about this? How about we all finish with something we want to say, and then we close this. We come back another time. I'll get this posted up onto YouTube if that's okay as a recording, and get it to Tafa, so that he can look at this from Climate Live and say, look, can you play with this? Can you do something with us on this? Yeah. So Larry,
thank you, guys.
Like to say?
This is a start.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
I think goodbye, Richard. I think mine will just to urge all the fellow creatives who are here. David, you are a creative. You came up with a book, and you are a great lyricist. You know how to play around with words. That's why in our conversation, I was like, you need to write some of the music that we're going to produce. So mine is just to urge each and everyone to play an active role. Let's indulge in this. I feel like if we put in all the work and just invest ourselves emotionally and just be present in the moment, in this period where we are having all these climate events and everything, just to put our perspective out there. Mine is just to urge each and everyone to be present in this moment and just exhaust each and everything that you feel like you need to exhaust artistically and creatively. And I feel like that will last, and it will resonate with each and everyone who will be able to watch our videos, see our content, play our music, the music that we're going to come up with during this activity that we're going to have all the way towards November. And that will go a long way in putting our information out there, and also getting other people to tap into this transformational energy, transformational ownership energy. And this is, let me not call it a disease, but this is just a positive vibration that I feel like needs to be out there. And people will catch that vibe, and they'll carry it on, spread it to their surrounding. And I'm pretty sure by the time COP28 ends, I'm sure like we will be a part of the conversation, and people will realize, instead of, just talking about the norm where, David, you always say this, how can you have a villain and his weakness, his or her weakness, but you still want to coexist with the villain when you need to, cancel out the villain and just have the good guys only existing. So I believe we can do it, and let's do it.
Excellent. Morris?
Oh, hi. I think it's always a pleasure to engage with David. I think the way Larry is saying about you're a lyricist. Part of the new song I sent you wrote the lyrics. Actually, I just did some copy pasting and stuff. Yeah. So let us continue. Like, unity of purpose is the most important thing in this space, because in other creative ventures we are usually united, but when it comes to climate art, we are like everyone is operating on a silo. And I think this will be an important platform to bring people together. We learn about each other and we collaborate even in other ventures, so that we can also change the world there. So bye. Tell Richard I have his chicken.
Oh yes. I would Yes.
Yeah.
We will have to come.
Hey, there's also a goat here waiting for you. It's named David.
Okay, we have to come and visit. Okay, Will and Shita, final words for us.
So I'd like to finish with as much as we engage, let's come with, every time we engage, let's have results, not just talking every time. So it's my new meeting with you guys, and I hope we'll work together and make a change for us. Yeah.
This is so great. Let's have results and not just talk. That sums it up. Thank you. That is so powerful. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll talk again.
All right.
I'll give this over to Tafu in the morning. I'll make sure that we will try and push this on further, and we'll set up another call, bring some more people in, and let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Happy that we had this. So take care, everyone.
Yep, take care. Bye-bye.